Hey, this is Elijah from Breakdance, and in this video I'm going to show you the simple pop-up API that Breakdance offers, which allows you to trigger the opening and closing of specific pop-ups. This is useful for developers that want to interact with the pop-up's open or close state via third-party code. To start with, we need to know the ID of the pop-up we want to open or close, so we'll go over to Breakdance Pop-ups in the WordPress admin panel, and hover over the name of the pop-up we've created. Here we'll see number 16 that tells us that the pop-up ID is 16. So we'll commit that to memory and then go back to our page and start working with the API. We're going to use a code block here just to demonstrate the code required to interact with the API. But first we're just going to add a button called Open Pop-up. And then we'll add a data attribute to this, which will hold the ID of the pop-up we want to have open. So we'll do data pop-up open with dashes in between and put in that number 16 ID. That's all the HTML we need, so now we can go down into JavaScript and get started. The first thing we need to do is find all of the elements with that data-pop-up-open attribute and add some functionality to those. So let's do document.query selector all, and then we'll use that data attribute selector data-pop-up-open, and that'll give us a list of the elements with that attribute. Then we'll do dot for each, and actually I see a typo there. Let's move this quote outside that bracket. We'll do dot for each to run some code on each one of those. And we'll do an arrow function here. Now within our function, we want to add an event listener to each button. So we do button.add event listener. Then the name of the event we want to listen for, which is click in this case. And then another arrow function here, making sure that we have access to the event itself. So let's add the pop-up ID variable. Let pop-up ID equal E, which is the event, target, which is the event target, so the element that was clicked, dot dataset, which is all of the data attributes on that element, dot pop-up open in camel case. The way dataset works is it basically strips out data dash, all the other dashes, and camel case is the name of the data attribute, so we can access it this way. So that will now have our number 16 from that button that we created. And now we can use the Breakdance pop-up API to open the pop-up. We'll do Breakdance pop-up dot run action. Run action accepts two parameters. The first is the pop-up ID that it needs to interact with, and the second is the name of the action we want to run. We can do close to close the pop-up, or in this case, we'll do open. And that's all we need. So if we save this and check it out on the front end, we'll see now that when we click our button, our pop-up opens.